mesmerism. I was like, get the fuck out of here, dude. He's like, dude, I'm serious. It was crazy. And for some reason, I just couldn't believe him. I was like, nah, you're fucking kidding. Because it sounded so bizarre. But I'm mad that I didn't believe him because, like, that's not really that crazy to think about when it comes to salvia. That shit is just not anything to play with. So I'm like, yeah, okay, man. He goes, you know what, man? You don't believe me? Why don't you fucking try it and see what you see? I was like, okay. So I smoked the salvia to try and prove a point that it probably wasn't strong to begin with, and he didn't even feel anything, which was so wrong. So I take a big hit. I hold it in for as long as I can. I exhale, and I felt that shit immediately. He took 2 hits, maybe because the first one wasn't as big, but I took 1 big hit, and I did not need a second because I couldn't take a second hit if I tried. I was out, dude. Like, I took the hit, and almost immediately, I was just in another plane of existence. And I can't tell you what I was doing in the physical realm, but I can tell you what was going on in my head. So right after I take the hit, I start feeling like a vibration feeling, and I see shapes and colors. They almost look like a shape of like kind of like a hexagon, if I can compare it to anything, going down both sides of my eyes, and I can see this circular, almost like a sun. It looked like a sun right in front of my face where my friend was, and I kept trying to reach out and grab it because it was small. It was like a small sun, but I couldn't grab it. Like I couldn't move my arm for some reason, and I was getting frustrated because I couldn't move my body. I kept trying to move, and I felt like I couldn't, and I wasn't moving. And for like 3 minutes, maybe 5 or however long it wasn't long, I remember that. But I was just sitting there on the couch trying to move and trying to grab this thing in front of me, and I couldn't get it. And I remember at one point, the small sun moved up into my lap, and I was trying to touch it, and I couldn't. And the whole time this is happening, I'm hearing auditory hallucinations as well. Like, I'm hearing shit. It sounded like a choir that were all singing different things. So it was like complete just overwhelming, like sensory overload in my ears. And it was scary. Like, it literally sounded like I was being screamed at by a million different voices. And I also heard like a drum sound, like a ba-boom, 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 and like screaming over it. And it was terrifying me. And the more I focused on this like screaming, like choir sound in my ears and this beat, the more and more I got scared and the worse the trip got. And I just remember sitting there for the entire trip, like a whole like 5 minutes or so, just dealing with this like choir of just screaming demons in my ear while there's a sun sitting in my lap, a small like basketball-sized sun hovering in my lap that I couldn't move to touch. And the whole time, I just remember sitting there thinking, I'm stuck here forever. I'm never going to get out. Like, this is my new reality. I'm stuck here. That's what I was thinking. And I thought that pretty much the whole time until I slowly came out of it. And it was so strange because the whole time I was in this trip, I knew that it was a trip. I knew that I smoked salvia, but for some reason I thought I was stuck there forever and I thought it wasn't going to end. Like, the minutes just felt like hours. Luckily, they weren't hours. 5 minutes later, I came out of it slowly, and I could slowly hear the auditory hallucinations kind of fading away, and I could see my friend and communicate with him easier. And after it was fully gone, I knew exactly what he was talking about. It felt like I was going to get ripped back into that reality and stuck there or something. Like, I was so scared of even thinking about that shit ever again. And I looked at my friend, and I was like, yeah, you're right. That shit's not to fuck with.